Hello everyone, this is Daniel, and I'm going to make a video about how diseases spread. So, for one thing, let me describe about, not coronavirus, but all diseases in general. So, if someone is, let's say, sick, and spreads it to a dirty person, and the dirty person isn't sick, he will, quite literally, by the way, spread it to everyone else. Who else who otherwise wouldn't usually get sick by other people, but they will get sick themselves. So the super spreader people are those who spread without even being sick and are dirty. Also, if you don't feel like you're sick, you are actually carrying coronavirus. Let me state that very clearly. If you do not feel like you're sick, you are carrying coronavirus. That may be old news, but if you don't feel like you're ever sick at all, and you're carrying coronavirus, and you never feel like you get sick after all this time, and you basically don't have any symptoms, and end coronavirus even though you don't have any symptoms, you're still spreading the disease. Now, if you don't have any symptoms, and if you spread the disease without even knowing it, and people are getting sick around you, get yourself tested, because if you're not sick at all, if you never get sick from coronavirus, which is not likely, but it might be likely that we are miscalculating coronavirus, and let's say half of America is sick without even knowing it. That might be an overstatement, but let me clarify. I would say 10% of America is sick without even knowing it, and then they'll get sick. Half of them. Then we have a case of super spreaders, because that's in the future statement. But basically, we have a case of super spreaders, and they don't even know they're sick. Diseases are complex, because when you're sick and you don't even know you're sick, however, what is the sickness to you? Because when you don't have any symptoms, like symptoms, or any diseases that they catch, you're probably spreading it still. You know? Everyone that is either not sick or is sick, anyone that spreads a disease may not feel like they're sick or have the disease in their system. So if they're indeed sick, and they don't even know about it, and the doctors don't even know about it, that's the case where people spread the disease. Even then, if you touch something and you put it back in the store and you have a mask on, you're getting everyone sick. You're getting everyone else sick there that touches it, and that person is sick without even knowing it. And the person might do the same thing. So it's certain that we have a spreader case, not super spreader, but spreader case, that we have a whole bunch of people sick, maybe in one area. Now, in New York City, I believe a lot of people are sick without even knowing it. And, you know, I have an illness without even knowing about it. Because I got from a certain person downstairs, she's sick, I'm not sick, but I have a disease that I am basically fighting off. I'm not sick, but I don't feel like I'm sick, and my body is doing very well fighting off these diseases. I may have like 1,000 diseases that I'm fighting off, and if someone gets sick from one of these diseases, that's that's unfortunate, because coronavirus is basically picking people that it's attacking. The immune system might not be able to fight it as well, because it's brand spanking new. However, if people get used to it, then People get used to it. Then they don't get sick. Now, some people have coronavirus within them. Actually, I'd say a lot of people have coronavirus within them. Yet it's fought off because it's not a huge strain. People with a little bit of a strain of coronavirus are most likely getting everyone else sick. And with that little bit of strain of coronavirus within them, the mask is not going to cut it because people are touching every surface all over the place. Now, look at the walls, look at the television, look at the computer, and tell me, is there not dirt there? Because there's a disease in every dirt aspect of dirt. There's a disease in every dirt possible, dust and all that. Dust have dust mite droppings. Let me say it again so you can hear me clearly. Dust has dust mite droppings. Dead skin cells, all that good stuff. Not good, but you know. So, if you're really feeling sick, then you have one strain that you're feeling sick from. But if you're not feeling sick, then you have 500 strains that you do not feel sick from. And you're still spreading it to other people, but they do not feel sick. Because they do not feel like they're getting sick. But then there's a strain of coronavirus that's brand spanking new, and everyone else is getting sick. Now, it does exist. However, it's not as strong as it possibly ever could be, because it's not that bad as a pandemic. However, it's still like I don't know, it's like swine flu. It's not as deadly, but it's still like the swine flu. I'll compare it to the swine flu, but it's not that like as bad as a pandemic. More people are getting it than swine flu. However, swine flu is more like a freak accident, and we basically covered up the tracks very quickly. Coronavirus is more like, you know, enemy territory. So we didn't know what to do, because we do not know how to deal with a foreign disease. So anyway, I digress. However, when someone feels sick, that means they have one strain. But if they do not feel sick, they also, if someone feels sick, they have a lot of strains, but they only have one strain that they're feeling sick from. But if someone doesn't feel sick, they have a lot of strains, like 500 of them, that they do not feel sick from. And if you do have coronavirus and you do not feel sick from that, and you have that strain, and you recover without even feeling sick, and if you do not get tested, and you touch every surface possible, you are getting everyone else sick that might get sick. So diseases are the fastest spreader possible. You know about super spreaders events, right? Lots of people get sick, but everyone is sick from that super spreader event. Everyone has a disease. That's what a super spreader event is. Everyone has a disease. Some do not even feel it, but everyone else does. I would say the entire White House has coronavirus. The people, the staff anyway. The entire staff has coronavirus. But some of them don't feel sick because they're young enough to deal with it. Maybe they don't have maybe they have a small strain. President Trump is elderly, but I would say he has it, and even what's that guy's name? Mike Pence has it. I would say Mike Pence also has coronavirus, because he did go with Trump. They do not wear masks, so in that case, they blow it from their mouth. If they cough, Mike Pence gets it on his skin. It goes into him, and he fights it off. He is well. However, half the staff is sick from that, and the other half doesn't feel a thing. Maybe some of them after later. So 3/4 of the White House is sickened with coronavirus. Yet the quarter just don't have a thing about don't have anything to do with coronavirus except that they have it. They basically fight it off easily. So don't get me wrong. If you do not feel sick, you are already sick. Because everyone is sick all the time. Now that's not an overstatement. That is, however, a statement that describes how dire needs we are in. Because if someone is sick next to you and they cough, you already have the disease. Alright, it'll be done now, okay? Bye.